Awaken to your truth that you are the I Am presence in harmony with the divine. You are consciousness beyond what the body and mind identify. This is Moment to Moment. Host Linda Hope will remind and enlighten you to know your divine nature. You were born into the body already aware, but forgot it as you expanded your sense of identity, ego mind, pattern behaviors, and habits. Stop sleepwalking and wake up to your timeless, eternal, formless self. Now, your host of Moment to Moment, Linda Hope.
Good evening. Welcome to Moment. My name is Linda Hope, and I hope you can stick around for at least 60 minutes. Join us in a conversation about what it means to have a high quality life, in that you just don't take everything as a means to an end. We're going to talk about that. It's when you think about it, we rush through our day, most of us, right? We get up, we do our whatever to get ourselves ready for the day, brush our teeth, wash our face, whatever that is. We've got it down to a science, right? And we want to rush through that so we can get ready, grab our breakfast. Sometimes we don't even sit down, right? Grab it. Maybe we don't even have breakfast. And we get in our car and we rush to where we have to go, or we get on the train or whatever it is to get to work. And then you do your job, rush home, you get into you're exhausted. And now you have to try to relax, right? And be with your family or wherever you are at that moment, and eat your dinner and go to bed, or maybe watch a little TV. It sounds very typical, doesn't it? It sounds pretty much what a normal life sounds like. And we're rushing from one moment to the next moment, wanting this moment to be better. And we rush through all our chores or rush through all our work, and we wonder why we're exhausted. So I'm going to be talking a little bit on a different level, a deeper level of understanding what is potentially possible as humans and as spiritual beings having a human experience. Because to elevate the quality of your life is to really look at not the end of the project or the, getting in your car and going to work, right? That's one action. Let's just get to work, right? Well, what happens in between that drive? What happens when you're driving to work? Can you enjoy the ride? It's like, can you stop and smell the roses? Those expressions mean something. Can you enjoy the process and not just wait for the end result? It's sort of like when you go on vacation. Have you noticed that you've gone on this beautiful trip, you're all ready to go, and you get you're all packed up, and you're going there, and all you can do is, get everything organized. There's no enjoyment in that, right? You have to get all the paperwork together, and then you get on the plane, you get to the place, right? Then you have this itinerary, the schedule. They take you from one place to the next. Have you been on that? I have. And they load you up with things to do. And you have to get up early. You get on the train, the bus. They take you from one place to the next. They say, come on back in 20 minutes. Go out there, but come back in 20 minutes. And that's why most people, after they go on vacation, they need a vacation. And what really did they enjoy in the vacation? Did they really enjoy the vacation? Or were they just rushing from one place to another and not fully enjoying the moment to moment to moment to moment experience? So what is needed to be done is really what I've been saying, right? Rushing is to slow down. Slow down. Yes, life seems to be going very quickly, and every day seems to be going faster and faster and faster. But that's because we're looking at rushing so much and we're not present in the moment, enjoying it now. We're not, most people are gobbling down their food to get to work or to do whatever they need to do next. And they're not taking their time to fully enjoy their food. And if you're one of those people, this is a show for you. We are going to talk really some good points, some good tips that you can apply right away that can awaken you to some things that you may not have thought of before, that this concept may be totally alien to you. But that's why it's important to breathe, notice your breath, start the day with your breath, with an inhale and exhale, to meditate for just a few minutes, just to ground you and to wake you up to the deeper I, to the deeper knowing of who you really are. And when you are present and you are presence itself, then everything that is experienced in this form will be enjoyed moment to moment to moment. And it won't just be everything is a means to an end. And so I have to share with you what happened earlier, I guess a few days ago. I was playing pickleball. And I stepped back onto a ball, pickleball, and tried to hold onto the fence behind me and could not hold myself up because I slipped and I let go and fell flat on my back. In the meantime, I injured my middle finger, and it was perfect timing. I realized while I was experiencing maneuvering without my right hand, because I'm a righty, that it was so consistent with what this talk is about. Instead of rushing through activities, brushing my teeth or combing my hair, I have to decide, okay, I'm going to be using just these fingers to do it. I'm going to be mindful of how my finger is positioned so I don't hurt it again. And I'm going to be enjoying the process. Now, otherwise, I could easily be frustrated and upset and calling myself all kinds of names or other people some kind of name because it happened. But I use this as an opportunity to talk to you and to really be the proof that this is possible, that you can decide, hey, I'm going to enjoy using my other hand and working it and then figuring out from there what's best. And so it makes you very conscious of what you're doing in the moment, doesn't it? Yes. So if you have any questions for me as we go about this 60 minutes, please just put them in the chat. And also, if you're streaming, you can also comment. So somebody just said something. Oh, thank you, Brianna. I appreciate that. She loved the music. Thank you. And I enjoyed creating that music. Thank you. So yes, we're going to be beginning with some questions. And I love the questions because I think it does focus our attention on really what exactly is this conversation and what we need to do to get into a place of awareness of this mindfulness practice that we call life, and to apply it. And it's just simple ways to apply. We'll get that at the end of the show. But right now, I'm going to bring Todd on so we can ask some questions from the audience, and we'll take it from there. All right. Hi, Todd.
Whoops. Habit. Hi, Linda.
Hi. Yeah, I love that color. Boy, that's so
Thank
great.
you.
I didn't get the memo. Otherwise, I would have maybe put that.
Bright and cheerful day.
Bright and cheerful day. Yes, yes. So, yeah, what are the people asking for this show?
What we've got, my goodness. And I like this when a lot of these I can relate to these so much. Oh my goodness. What do you mean when you say, is everything you do a means to an end?
Right. Well, I sort of talked about at the beginning of the show. Yeah, it is all about just getting somewhere, just doing something to get there, right? So when you get up in the morning, you have it in your mind what you have to do for the day. And you make a list sometimes, or you don't make a list. And some people check them off, depending on how busy the day is. Most of the time, they don't really stop and just breathe.
Mhm.
Right, they just don't breathe. They just think, "Okay, I gotta do this, I gotta do that," and their mind is so preoccupied with the list and what has to be done and what do I have to do next, and getting ready for work. It's hectic. A lot of people living very hectic lives, and you're one of them. You're very busy, show after show after show after show, right? But if you weren't present during the shows, you could mess up
Oh
easily,
my goodness, yes.
right? Yeah, and so when you're present in the moment and things will just evolve. It won't just be, "Oh, I have to get to the next moment." "Oh, wait a second, I can't be present now because I have to be thinking about what's next, what's coming next, what's coming next, what's coming next." And we're always into that next, like, "What's next?"
Mhm.
It's sort of like ADD, ADHD. It feels that way,
It
right?
does.
Yeah. It feels like, "Wait a second, wait, I'm thinking of one thing, wait a second, I'm on to another thing." There was a really funny article somebody gave me, and I can't remember all of it, but it goes like this, where somebody says, "Okay, so I let me see if I can remember part of it." Um, the phone rings, and you're talking to the person. You're going, "Yeah, I've got to hang up. Oh, I'll talk to you later. I have to go to work. Okay, fine. I'll talk to you later." And then you put it down. You go, "Wait a second. I got to go charge my phone." So you go over and you charge your phone, and then you're thinking, "Well, wait, I have to send a text." You send a text. You forgot exactly what you were doing in the first place. You had to go to work because you're so busy, right? In a stream of consciousness is, "Oh, now I have to send a text. Oh, wait, I have to wait for them to reply. Oh, they just said this. Well, boy, I better go on the computer." And then before you know it, you're late for work because you're just, right, going like a mouse on a wheel, just going, "What? And you're following that breadcrumb, and it's leading you all over the place.
It does. And there's so much out there to distract you and
Yes.
get you away from the present moment. For example, when you go to YouTube and search something to watch, like a how-to video, next thing you know, you're watching giraffes. It just makes no sense. You're just completely distracted down the funnel in this
Yes.
rabbit hole.
Yes. Yes. And how do you wake up? I mean, sometimes those YouTube videos are really compelling. They really can get you. And then especially those commercials, those mini commercials where they're selling a product and they're selling it, and all of a sudden they said, "No, wait, 2 minutes, keep watching because there's a special offer." You're waiting and you're waiting and you're waiting, and then you wait and you go, "Why am I waiting? I know what they're doing to me," but so intrigued, you're so curious,
Mhm.
and they get your attention. See, that's how they know they got you, because you get distracted easily. And these commercials, they know how to grab the audience because
Yeah.
they know our monkey brain. They know how to get it, and people are curious, and they're gonna sort of, they don't care what's going on really. They just want to know what. That's what these shows are all about too on Netflix. When these series, when they
Oh,
end with that thriller ending, and then all of a sudden they start again, and you're hooked.
over and over and over.
And that's why you binge watch, because you can't stop watching, even though you had to go do the dishes or you had to do something else, or maybe take care of your child. All of a sudden you're like, I'm hooked, and I can't get free. It's because you're mindless. You're not awake.
And because of your show, I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
Because of your show, it's of course taught me presence
Mhm.
and how to eliminate certain things out of your life, distractions and so forth. One of my biggest distractions was television,
Oh. Mhm.
and it helped free my mind from the real world, but yet completely distracted me. So I do other things than watch TV
Mhm.
now. And I thank you for that because I'm a better person than just because I was getting
Mhm.
obsessed with certain things on the news and so forth, and it was such a distraction. It was just taking me away from life, and
Mm.
staying in the moment is key,
Mm.
especially, for someone like me. You've taught me presence, and I appreciate that from the
Wow.
bottom of my heart, Linda. I really do.
Well, you're the one that's really working the process, because if you weren't diligent enough, you didn't feel it was important enough in your life to raise the quality of your life, you wouldn't be doing it. There has to be a feeling of yeah, I'm not going to speak for you, but what are you feeling when that occurs? I mean, are you feeling more peaceful, less
Yeah,
sad,
less anxiety,
oh, that's big. Yeah.
less anxiety, more in the now,
Mhm.
more and it's and I tell Sherry this all the time too. It's so much easier to
Yeah.
be in the present
Hmm.
than thinking about yesterday or tomorrow. It's not even built yet. It's the way what I tell her. And
Mhm.
it's hard to do that. It's a discipline. And there's just so many techniques that you have and so much guidance.
Mhm.
And I'm just glad that it's available for everybody because people need this, especially in today's world. It's craziness out there. The distractions are overwhelming.
Right. Yes. Absolutely. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. You know, your testimony is wonderful, because people can relate when they hear it from you, and they feel that, oh yeah, okay, I watch too much TV too. You know, what am I going to do now to fill my time? People can say, well, how about reading? How about crafts? How about doing something you've never done before
Yeah.
that brings out the creativity within you? Yeah. Or you can absolutely watch a movie mindfully. It says, hey, what do I feel like today? I want to watch a musical, something that I enjoy, music or whatever. But to mindlessly turn on the TV, it's a lot of people are doing that, and they're watching so much violence.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of that.
and then you all of a sudden you're like, well, what am I watching this for? Sometimes, I'll watch it with a friend. They'll say, oh, I want to turn this on. And I'll look, really? You really want to enjoy this bloodshed, and you want to enjoy this terror that's going on the screen? How is that going to make you feel when you shut that TV off later, when you try to go to bed? Right? It's with you.
Yeah.
And you can't sleep when you're all riled up like that.
It sticks to you and you
Hmm.
can't get away from it. And it's hard to bounce back from it. Um,
Can be.
there's
Can
just there's so many different practices out there, and you make it clear. You make it clear. And I want to read one of my favorite questions that came in.
Okay, perfect. Mhm.
Okay. This one. I have a busy life. I need to get things done. It's not possible for me to slow down. How can I apply your presence practice?
Right.
Oh, education coming your way.
Busy, 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 busy. Well, because everybody who has the monkey brain, the ego brain, really, I call it the ego mind, the ego loves to be busy. It does not like to be quiet. It does not like to be still, because it wants to constantly be doing, 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 which is what we think as humans we need to be doing. But as you know, by being really involved in the show, that the beingness is really who you are. The
Mhm.
essential nature of you is stillness, is presence. And that beingness, when you are more present, then your mind is less busy chatting with you. It's less occupying, distracting from this present moment, because nothing can interrupt. If you're totally present in the moment, you are seeing your thought patterns. You're seeing your mind, and you can say, I choose not to engage. I choose not to attract or to respond. I'll just let it pass, right? And so the illusion people say is, I have too much of a life, busy life. I can't be still. That's a thought. That's your monkey brain saying,
Mm.
I want to be busy. That's what I do. I do that best. I'm going to be busy today. And I'm always going to be busy but that's our society. Our society, I don't know about you, but I was raised by a father who was go, 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 go. He was a lawyer. He was very, you know, busy man, right? And if we were sitting around doing nothing, we had, what are you doing? Don't sit around doing nothing. You got to get up. What are you doing? You know, do some homework or go ride a bike or da da da. And it wasn't that fashionable to just be sitting and being present, because otherwise people think you're weird.
Yes.
Whoa. So the society reinforces that. And the speed of things, the technology of things, you know, we need information like that from our computers, from our phones, from text. We respond quickly to everything.
Hmm.
Instead of sitting back and slowing down and taking a breath and noticing the stillness that's here and allowing that to be witnessed, you know, and appreciated, and then move forward, right? And then, but don't believe those thoughts that say, I am too busy to slow down, because those are just habitual thoughts that from a pattern behavior that's feeding, you know, society is feeding and reinforcing. So how do you apply the presence? By taking a breath and stepping back from the impulse from that busy mind to say, come on, come on, come on, let's go. Wait, that's where impatience comes from, right? You're too impatient. You can't wait a minute, right? A lot of people like that. They're riding, especially driving in a car, and they're like right on top of you, like, come on, hurry up, right? And they have no space to step back. And so when you get that busy in your life, you really need to practice presence, because what will eventually happen is, number one, you're going to burn out. You're going to stress yourself out, right? You're going to get sick because you've overdone it. You don't know how to take a break. You don't know how to relax. And
Yes.
all these stress hormones are pumping cortisol, and you're getting more anxious because you're not getting stuff done, right? Wow, I got to get up earlier because I got to get more stuff done. I got to go faster, right? I don't have time to even go out with friends. And you know, sometimes can get so overwhelmed by overachieving, as a lot of us are, overachievers, and showing others how great we can be, you know, how great we are with the ego mind. You know, there's no end to how busy you can be. And so when you notice that in your day and feeling exhausted at the end of your day, then you can say, look, you know what, I'm going to not be, you know, very healthy going forward if all I'm doing is running around, you know, and it's not. And that's when you wake up. That's when you wake up and you listen to shows like this, and then you really get present. You go, you know what? She's right. I need to breathe more. I need to just sit for a moment periodically throughout my day. You know, get away from the screen of your, you know, on your computer. Turn off your phone. Close your eyes, and just breathe and notice your breath is going in and out, just very simply for 2 minutes. Because that will rejuvenate you. It's better than a nap. When I was meditating twice a day, and I was doing 10 minutes of meditation twice a day, wow, did I get really, you know, rejuvenated. Just 10 minutes. That's all. Just watching your breath, or listening to, like, if you're somewhere where there's air conditioning, just listen to the air conditioning, you know, or listen to one sound and just focus on it. Just focus on that, you know. And then if you see your thoughts, you know, just say, okay, just go. It's all right. I don't need to log into them. Just pass. Let them pass. And the more you can do that throughout your day, the more refreshed you'll be.
Yes.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with that more. That's an amazing explanation. And I have a bad habit. I sleep with a fan because it helps me concentrate on now.
Beautiful.
Because I listen to that when I sleep. So these thoughts pop out of my head. I just concentrate on the sound of that fan. And next thing you know, it's morning.
Ah,
So it works out pretty good.
oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why the sleep apps are so good. I put on the Rain sleep app. There's a really good one.
Oh, like Calm, I think
Well,
it's
actually
called.
on YouTube, if you go to YouTube
Hmm.
and you put in white noise or brown noise, it's called brown noise because white noise can be really staticky, but brown noise is a little bit smoother, really nice. And and sometimes rain is really, you know, how sometimes that soft little rain sound really helps you fall asleep and keeps you asleep, especially if you're with somebody who snores and they don't want, and
Guilty.
you don't want to be hearing the snoring. You take your little phone and you put your little earbuds in there and you put it up and you crank that sound just enough to hear that beautiful rain.
Guilty. I'm so guilty of snoring sometimes. If I sleep on my back, I will roar
Everybody
like a
does.
bear,
Yeah, no, everybody does.
but it's a good
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah, right, right, right. So, yeah, those are just one. And how else can you be present? Well, we'll talk about that too at the end. But yeah, being busy is really a state of mind. It's really your mind is telling you that, and the mind is pushing you to be really fill up your time because you probably don't have much time. You know, that's what people say to themselves. I'm going to die someday and I got to use my time as much as I can and as fast as I can in order to accomplish everything I need to do in my life. That's part of what it's all about, right? And so we have this illusion, and it is an illusion that death is final because that we said, hey, you know, life's a bitch and then you die, right? So
Yep.
no, it's that is also something that when you're set in your form and you believe yourself only to be this person with this history, you were born and then there's a beginning and there's an end. And so we're running around like our, you know, chicken with our head cut off, right? Trying to fill our time because of this final destiny that we think we have. I think it's very subconscious, and somehow we have this. We're not fulfilled enough. We're not enough. We're not enough. We got to get more. We got to get more. We got to get more stuff. We got to get more, right? Love. We got to get whatever, and then we get obsessed, and then we get addicted because there's a feeling of not enoughness because that's again the ego is never satisfied. You know, more food, more stuff, more cars, more whatever,
More whatever, yeah.
more whatever, and I have to do it. And you know, time is a wasting time, and also time is an illusion because from a state of consciousness there is no beginning or end. There's no time. Time is a linear thing. But as consciousness, we're already we're already in existence. We already exist. And when this body drops and this mind goes, ego mind, we're just presence. We're just in this conscious field of consciousness with the divine consciousness, oneness. So there's no separation between us and God, godly, divine, whatever you want to call it, universe. And because we're all the same. We're all one in this place of stillness. And when you realize that, the idea of death no longer bothers you because you know that's only for the form, the body, the identity, person who believes that to be the truth, which it isn't. And then you really get clear on how that plays out. That your life is just a play that's working out because of all kinds of pattern behavior that you have. We can do that another show, but
Pattern behavior.
that's a biggie.
That's a doozy.
We all play these pattern behavior. Well, I didn't even know I had a pattern behavior until you know, years after I was really being not a nice person. Anyway, but then I realized, oh, you know, I'm a perfectionist in my life. You know, Linda's life is a perfectionist and wants things a certain way and is a type A personality. And, you know, all these things that formed this personality needed to be recognized, needed to be witnessed and brought to the surface to heal because that's how you heal these pattern behaviors, because they're unconscious. You're pretty much driven by your unconscious. So in this unconscious life that you live, you're just going from one thought to the next thought to the next busy thought to, I have to accomplish this, I have to do this. And if anybody says we got to slow down, they look at you and go, what are you, crazy?
Hmm.
I
It's
can't.
almost like that movie, The Matrix.
Tell me how that is for
Well,
you.
what it is there's you're living in they're supposedly living in a world that is an illusion,
Yep.
and the real world is when they wake up.
Yeah.
And the movie itself's a real good wake up call, and
Mhm.
it kind of it teaches you a little bit about presence. But it's a sci-fi movie,
Yeah.
but it has a really good story behind it on how we humans live
Yeah.
in this just gobbledygook world that's painted perfect for us, but yet that's not the real world. The real world is when they wake up, they have to eat this food
Slop.
that, yes, slop and stuff like that, and that's the real world in their world. So
Right.
it just, that movie made me think a little bit on how we react, how we discipline ourselves, and where we end up. And it's a pretty
Sure.
good movie. You should check it out. You should
I
definitely watch
love it. I love it. I've watched it so many times. And some people think that it's actually very right on, because uh, it is the programming that you believe that you are really choosing your own course and your own uh, journey. Whereas in the Matrix, it shows no, you're programmed. You're programmed, and that's why we get triggered, because when people trigger us, it's because they're hitting a really deep-seated egoic history, pain body, as they would call it, right? And so somebody's really poking their finger into your past traumas, and you don't even know it when you get triggered, when you get angry, because you're unconscious. And so all of this, what we're talking about, is moving from unconsciousness to consciousness. So, we may sound like we're off topic, but we're totally on
Oh
topic.
yeah.
So if somebody's triggering you and you all of a sudden get mad at what they just said to you, like, why are they talking to me that way? And you're taking it very personally, then you have to say, I am not being conscious right now. What do I need to do to wake up here? Do I just lash out? Do I just get angry at him? Do I just point my finger at him and say, get out of my face? Don't say that to me. Don't ever say that to me again. Or do you take it as a learning experience and say, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for showing me my hot spots, because I have to work on that. I
I
have
like that.
I have to work on that. Yeah.
That's
And
a whole new outlook.
oh, yes. It's a perfect way to look at it, because you're saying, yeah, I still have to dissolve that kind of trigger, and there's something deep rooted there. What I love about all this is that we're all psychologically hooked, and we're all very similar in how we respond to being insulted, to being told what to do, right? To be all that is our ego mind, and every single human on this planet can trigger other human beings on this planet, because they know how they get triggered. And so that's how we get into,
So many.
right? We get into heated problems and heated discussions and wars, because we know how to trigger others. We just tell them, oh, you're full of shit. They go, what?
What? Me?
Me? What? Are you crazy? I'm not. I'm perfect. But most people don't know how to handle it. They don't know how to handle when somebody's saying you're crazy. Wow. You should go to a insane asylum or something, or you should go back and go to school because you're ignorant. I mean, people really know how to push a button when they go personal. And so if you can step back and say, you know what? I don't take things personally, because I don't believe I'm primarily the person. I am not this person all identified with my history and my pattern. and I no longer get triggered most of the time. I mean, maybe once in a while I will, and then I'll go, thank you. That still has to be healed. Okay, fine, great. There's something deep there. So, yeah, it's about using life and using experiences as an opportunity to wake up. That's it.
Opportunity to wake up.
To wake up.
Key words.
Yeah. Yeah. And so again, if your life is saying, your head's saying, I'm busy, 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 you go, no, it's just a thought. I'm not that busy. No, in fact, right now in this moment, I'm not busy at all. In fact, I can just breathe. I can just relax right now. It's so much night. Yeah, it's all right. No, you have to keep, no, that's just a thought. And as soon as you keep saying that into your head, we talked about this at other shows. Keep saying to yourself, what is the illusion? My mind is the illusion.
You're right. And we keep getting distracted and go on to something else because of the unconscious mind.
Right.
Like you said. And it's a trick.
It
It's a
is.
discipline to stay in that conscious mind, but it's so much more fun. It's so much more fun because you don't see things pass you by like you used to.
Yeah, that's right. You can see the beauty of things in the moment. You can smell the roses. I love that quote. Stop and smell the roses. Yeah, and be present and say, okay, what is it now that I can, all my senses, I can go out into nature is another way to stop the busy mind. Go out into nature and stand out in nature and just close your eyes and hear things, like hear the birds or whatever that sound, different sounds that you hear, and open your eyes and look around and see the beauty of nature and connect in all your senses. And the more you can engage it, the more alive, and even in the body, when you can go into your body and feel the aliveness, vibrational aliveness of the energy in your body, because that's where, you are life. And this body is so energetic that we forget its energy. We just think it's just flesh and bone, but under there, it's so much power and it's healing. And we can heal by activating that, knowing within our body that we heal very quickly, that we send that signal. It's amazing how the body heals so fast. You're just sick. So, we know how, by being in the moment and being calm and relaxed, our body can heal better than when we're stressed out with those stress hormones. Then we are depleted and we continue to be depleted and we can't get enough rest because we're anxious, we're fearful, right? We're on the go all the time. We're going, I'm going to get through this no matter what my body tells me. Some people are like that, like, I'm going to beat this. And you go, yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, I won't hold my breath.
Right. Yeah. No, it is that way. We think we're powerful just by our mind. Our mind is powerful if it's channeled right, if it's used correctly. Yeah. But if it's blinded by this ego thing that goes, I'm not sick, I'm going to go to work, and you push through and then you end up with pneumonia. I mean, that's not smart. It's sort of dumb. So again, we want to know where we are in the moment, and then we can appreciate the moment for what it is and not wanting to push it away or wanting it to be different than it already is. That's key.
I love that. And it is. That is key. And being in the presence, I'm telling you folks, it's fun. It's a lot more fun. It's tough sometimes to get back in your conscious mind, for me anyway. But when I get there, it's almost like, oh, I'm home. And then, you can do your thing and you can still, it cleanses your body, mine anyway. It completely cleanses it and reboots. And just being in there for a few moments.
Exactly.
Like you said, you take time to smell the roses. You take time to go outside, feel the grass, feel the leaves, feel the flowers, feel these things. Yeah. And that's what I do.
Walk barefoot in the grass. Yeah, that's so connecting to the ground. And
I just did that the other day.
Did you? Oh, fantastic. Yeah, it really gets you. It puts you right there. And because we are nature, we're nurture, all that. And there's no separation between us and nature because it's all universe, it's all source, right? We're all part of source. And that really is very evident when we out in nature. It's different than what we see that man makes, right? I mean, I do enjoy paintings and sculptures and things that people created because there's a spark of that creativity is like, wow, amazing. But there's something even deeper in nature, right? Because it's not synthetic, it's not man-made, and so the energy is different. It's just more alive and more connected. Yeah, and when you look at the clouds that are, oh my goodness, I in Santa Fe, this big sky, but you're also at a higher altitude. You're at 8,000 feet. The clouds feel like they're right there, like
Oh,
you're
wow.
right there. The clouds, and the shapes and the, oh my goodness, the layering of the sky and the expansiveness is just overwhelming sometimes. And you just feel so blessed and grateful to be experiencing that, and just being so still about it and watching them just slowly pass. Because this is another technique, the more you can slow down, like if you're walking fast, the minute you slow down and walk slower, then all of a sudden your mind starts to slow down, right? Because it's sending a signal, like I'm not running from anybody. The fear of flight kind of thing. I'm not rushing. Oh, wait, I can breathe now. Oh, I'm not, a bear's not chasing me. Oh, okay. I can just, wow, I'm safe. It sends a signal to your brain. I'm safe. Okay. And then you just, all of a sudden, things get really beautifully clear. Like you said, all of a sudden you go, oh, wow, there's no noise going on.
It
Yeah.
is. It's a wow moment.
Wow, it is it's wow. Yeah, and like when you get glimpses of that, you want more of those glimpses. That's what it is. Because that's your authentic self. That's who you really are. And you go, I feel at home. Like you said, I feel at home. And there's a peace and there's something that's undescribable. And you just feel like that's it.
Yeah.
I understand it now. I get it. Mhm. Is there any other questions you see that you like?
Let's see here.
I'm going to turn on some light. Let there be more light. It's
I
getting
like this one.
Okay, hold on one sec. I'm going to turn the light. Ah, a little better. No, not really. Hold on. That's not good.
Gotta love live.
Okay.
Hi,
Oh,
Courtney. Happy birthday, by the way. It's
here we
Courtney's
go.
birthday. She's
More light.
watching.
Oh, happy birthday.
This one in particular,
Yeah.
I am very competitive, so everything I do has an element of ego that you just talked about.
Yeah, it's okay.
Being the best and showing others how good I can do something. When I win, it feels good, and when I don't, I'm depleted,
Ah,
completely drained. Can you talk about it? What do you think?
yes. I'm sure some people out there have had those moments, feeling really, really, wanting to prove something to somebody else and say, hey, I can do this better than they can, and putting them down or complaining they don't do it well enough, or, um, just feeling like puffed up, right? Because, somehow I'm best, I'm better. And that is all the ego. And that's the game that the mind plays. And it's, again, the competitiveness of society, of the way the world is. It's okay to be that, right? It's
Hmm.
you see that in politics all the time, which is really ruthless. And you see people putting down the other candidate, and saying, oh, stupid or whatever. This is something that we allow now. We never used to allow this kind of banter, like negative, uh, you know, calling people out and cursing them. And you see that a lot on Facebook too. I mean, people are very destructive. Because their ego needs to be puffed up. They need to feel superior. And they don't understand that they have an ego, and they don't understand the play of it. And again, they're unconscious to the fact that they're allowing their ego to run their life. And they've been raised maybe with narcissistic parents or people who are, wanting them to strive and do and be successful and be the best at something, just like athletes have to be the best, and they get the most accolades, right? So we want our reinforcement. Again, we have to prove our worth, right? It's not just enough to be present. It's not enough to know your truth, that the I am presence. It's in the physical form. We have so much to strive for and so much to prove, because we believe, most of us, most society believes themselves only to be this person with a strong identity that has to prove their worth.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about worth. It's all about not feeling good enough, not feeling fulfilled enough, not feeling appreciated enough. And I see this all the time with people who feel that they're, they have to put other people down or blame other people for their unhappiness, which is a biggie. And they say, don't ever say that to me again. Well, guess what? They're going to say that to you again. They're going to say, how are you going to respond to it? People can say all kinds of things to you, but the only way that it's going to get to you is you allow it to get to you, that you allow their words to penetrate and believe it. You start to believe that they curse you out and you're not good enough and you'll never measure up. And then you internalize it and you say, well, I guess I'm not good enough, or, maybe they're right. And then you question yourself and you doubt yourself. And that's when you get on this self-abuse kind of trend, this kind of wheel of self-abuse, which is, I remember years back when I was much younger, I had this going for me where I didn't feel good enough, or I didn't feel that I was worthy enough. And then I started beating myself up mentally, like, well, you can't do this, you can't do this. And I would make mincemeat out of myself, and I use that as an example because I think after that, I just was exhausted, and I just looked at myself, I like viewed myself in a way, and I went, what the heck were you doing? What were you doing to yourself in that moment? I mean, it's like people can do that to you, but then you start doing it to yourself. There's no way out of it. You can't go into your room and close the door because you're in the room with yourself.
You're in the room with yourself. There's no. Sometimes that's the worst place to be.
Oh my God. No, it is. It is. It's like, it's right. And if you continued to have that mind chatter, that negative self-talk happening all the time, you can feel like you're going crazy. Mm-hmm. You really can. You can put yourself in such a low energy place, and you're not going to succeed in life. You're not going to find a job. You're going to go down the like you said, rabbit hole, because you're just continuing that negative mind chatter, which is a habit, which is a form of a habit. It's sort of like an addiction in a way. It's something that probably you were raised with that kind of parent that put you down,
mm-hmm.
you feel less than. And so that person could be dead. Your parent could be dead, but you're continuing on that conversation, right? And then all of a sudden you wake up to realize, wait, what am I doing? What's going on here? Why don't I feel good? And then you get really mindful, you get awake. You go, I can see that thought. Oh, I can see that thought. That's not a nice thought. Why am I thinking that thought? And then you start to use those principles of, well, I've got to treat myself like my best friend here, right? I've got to treat this person as my best friend and not take my mind seriously, because it's not true. It's not true. Nothing true in it. And everything negative that flows through the mind is all your ego, the ego mind that's being destructive. And you have to just sort of say to yourself, I'm not going to do that to myself. That's not going to be, I'm not going to attach. The chatter can happen, but you can put space between you and that noise and say, I'm not going to feed that animal anymore. I'm not going to feed those thoughts anymore, because they are not my deeper I. They're not who I am. That's not me. That's not, I am presence. No, that's who I am. And I can say, look, if that's what's going to happen, I'm going to just let it play out. Because the minute you start to push it away or put it down or stuff it in, it's going to pop right up. It's like a kettle with the water. It's going to go boom. It's going to go, oh no, here comes the mind storm.
Every time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like if you stop those thoughts right in the minute, maybe for a moment, I've stopped my thoughts, like, or I've repositioned it. I've channeled it somewhere else. And I'll say, okay, that I've seen that thought many times before. Yeah. Okay. Bye. But you can finally find, as you get more aware, what works for you. Now, maybe turning on some happy music, dance around, put your energy somewhere else, put your hands on your heart and breathe, get into your aliveness of your body. You'll see that when you distract yourself from the mind play, that'll start losing energy, start losing power. And then it'll start, to stop holding, like gripping you. It'll loosen up. And so you try this, you try a little bit of that, and then finally you breathe more. And that frees it a little bit more. Because the energy, those are energy entities. Those are little entities, as Eckhart Tolle would talk about. They're like pain body entities of energy forms that come in and creep in. And all of a sudden you feel, here it comes. I feel it. I know what that one is.
It never fails, does it?
No, you know it. You know it so well because it's just, it's just part of the process of waking up. Because the minute you can see it faster, you go, I'm getting good at this, getting better at that. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that. You explain that so well.
Oh, good.
It's hard to really think about being in the moment, but yet it's not.
Well, if you get your mind involved, it's hard.
Right.
You have to just be it.
You have to just do.
Not do.
No. Be. Well,
the mind is saying you got to do this, right? You've got to be the person that does it. What we're saying is we are being. That's our essential nature. That's the energy of beingness, is the higher vibrational energy of consciousness. Okay. It is formless, it is expansive, and it's your home. This is your God connection. And so when you're there, when you're really truly present with hardly any mind activity, you know that to be your truth. It's a knowing, not a doing. It's a knowing. And then it's something that if you tried to do it, you probably couldn't.
You're gonna screw it up.
Hold on.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Look at the time. I can't believe how fast it's gone.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh,
wow.
Everybody listening in. I hope that this conversation was enlightening for you. Yeah. I mean, it's such a great conversation, right? It really is. It's so much fun to know who you really are and know that everything else is sort of like interesting to watch. Just watch it play out. Mm.
Yeah. I want to thank you.
Oh,
I've learned a lot today, and so many tips and techniques. And
I know we didn't get to all the tips, did we? Do we have a moment to get? When do we have to? 2 minutes? We have to leave?
We have 1 minute.
Okay. Well, so that all of you, that hopefully all of you can communicate via Linda@lindahope.com, LYNDA@LYNDAhope.com, and send me some questions that you want answered on air. And every Tuesday I'm here at 8 p.m. Central. Yeah, and we'll ask those or have some tips next week. We'll use those for next week's show. Okay. Oh, I think Sharon Berkowitz is going to be on next week.
Oh, fun.
From Hawaii. So
very nice.
Yeah, it's going to be great. She's always such a great co-host when she comes on.
I love Sharon.
Yeah, and she has a great book. So Light Wisdom. She'll be talking about that. So for all of you, please, thank you for attending, for joining, please spread the word and help other people also wake up, because it's a great place to be. And thank you, Todd, for all your help.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
Okay.
Very much.
And thank you, Barb, for being here also. Sorry I didn't bring you on, but you're the best. Thanks for being here. Okay. Have a great week, everyone.
The truth is here and now. on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.